Man, there are some chapters in the Bible that just feel like emotional whiplash. Hey there, friends. It's Derek with 3-Minute Thoughts. Let's take a few minutes this morning, step into Mark chapter 9. One chapter slow enough to notice what's happening beneath the surface. The chapter opens on a mountain. Jesus takes Peter, James, and John with him, and suddenly his appearance changes. Radiant, almost uncontainable. It's the account of what we call the transfiguration in church today. There are two towering figures from Israel's past that appear beside Jesus. A voice speaks from a cloud, "This is my son. Listen to him." These two towering creatures are Moses and Elijah, the prophets and the law. These are ways of showing that Jesus will be the fulfillment of the law that Moses provided and the fulfillment of every prophetic voice that happens in the Old Testament, Elijah being one of the prophets. This is a moment of clarity. It's a moment of power and a moment of confirmation. Now, Peter, being typical Peter, he wants to do something. He wants to kind of take matters into his own hands. He wants to be known for this moment. He wants to build a house, or at least a tent, which feels kind of relatable. He wants things to last there for a while. Things kind of make sense. Faith feels strong. We want to freeze that moment. That's kind of the way we live things. We want to stay on that mountaintop moment forever. But they can't stay there. They have to go back down. And at the bottom of the mountain, there is an argument. A father desperate for help, a son tormented, disciples who tried and failed. The contrast is sharp. Glory above, struggle below. Jesus heals the boy, but not before saying something honest. This kind comes out only through prayer. In other words, some breakthroughs don't come through talent or proximity or closeness to power, but they come through dependence and submitting to one who's greater. They come through prayer. Then again, Jesus predicts his death. And again, the disciples don't quite get it. Instead of asking questions, they argue about who's the greatest. Jesus says, "Hey guys, I'm going to die." And they say, "Yeah, but am I the next in line?" Doesn't seem very compassionate, does it? They don't get what's happening. It's an almost painful moment, actually. Jesus responds by placing a child in their midst. Greatness, he says, looks like humility. It looks like welcoming the overlooked. And then the chapter ends with hard teaching about stumbling blocks, about taking sin seriously, and then this surprising line, "Have salt among yourselves and be at peace with each other." Mark 9 shows how quickly we move from awe to insecurity, from mountaintop clarity to competitive anxiety when stress and relationships come in turmoil. Maybe it's reminding us that the real test of faith isn't what we see in moments of brilliance, but how we walk back into ordinary life afterward. That's where we rely on Jesus. That's where prayer makes the difference. Thanks for taking time with me today. Be well, friends.